Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Saturday's Rant. Over and over you hear me discussing how I do not like to teach modes, that I think it makes learning music more difficult. In fact, I know it does because I've been there. I thought the only way to really get this out there, to show you what I mean, is to teach you the modes. If we take a look at the key of C, and we see we have no sharps and no flats, we have a C triad, a D minor triad, an E minor triad, an F major triad, a G major triad, an A minor triad, and a B diminished. If we go deeper and add extensions, we have a C major 7, a D minor 7, an E minor 7, an F major 7, a G 7, an A minor 7, and a B half diminished. Now, if we look at this on a piece of sheet music, you would see in the key signature there would be no sharps and no flats. If we look at it from the C chord, or from the C note, and start on 1, we are playing in what they call the Ionian mode. All this means is that the 1 is the tonal center. If we start on the 2, we start with D and we play D, E, F, G, A, B, C, we're now in the Dorian mode. If we start on the 3rd note, the E, we're in the Phrygian mode. If we start on the 4th note, the 4, we're in the Lydian mode. If we start on the 5th note, we're in the Mixolydian mode. If we start on the 6th note, we are in the Aeolian mode. And if we start on the 7th note, we're in the Locrian mode. Now, why do people get really hung up on calling these by modal names? There's a reason. There's also a reason why I say you don't. And we can weigh them out, and you can weigh them out, and once you learn them, you can make up your own mind. Now, the reason is because if we start on the 2nd note, the D, we're in the D minor Dorian mode. Well, that note is going to have all natural notes. This differs from the relative D minor, which would be in the key of F. And the reason why this differs is because the 6th note, the B natural in the Dorian, is natural or raised, whereas the standard Aeolian mode, which is your relative minor, the B would be flat in D minor. So they get hung up on the fact that this is a raised 6th. If we looked at a piece of sheet music and the song was in D minor Dorian, the sheet music would just let you know that you're in the key of C. There is nothing to tip you off that you're in the Dorian mode, except the fact that maybe the 1st chord is a D minor. You could also see it written out in the key of F, but every time you get to a B flat, it will be made natural. The chords that you would play and could use would be the exact same as in C major. The only difference now is we're tonal centering the 2 chord. For this, there are 7 names. And personally, I think the memorization of these names becomes silly because let's take a look. Let's say we're playing in Dorian D minor. And let's just say you're playing a solo, but you want to start on the 9th tone of the D minor scale. So you're starting on the E, and you're going to play a melody of E, F, G, A, C, A. Well, let's just say that's the melody you came up with. Technically, lead-wise, you would be playing in the Phrygian mode because you're centering the 9, which is the E to the D. The whole notion to me becomes silly because I can take any of the 7 notes from the C major scale and start wherever the hell I want and write a melody within those 7 notes. I do not need to have a name for where I'm starting and then have to memorize that name. There's going to be way too many things you have to know to be able to communicate clearly. I see people who love to throw the phrygian dominant mode around. Like somehow this makes them sound really aware. Oh, really? Well, phrygian dominant is the fifth mode to the harmonic minor. So let's just say we have a harmonic minor. We have A, B, C, D, E, F, G sharp. And let's say we're playing the chords that are in the A harmonic minor scale. We're playing an E to an F. They will say because you're starting on E, you're in E phrygian dominant. However, the music written in the key signature will be the key of C, and G sharp will be notated in the body of the music. I feel like it's some type of pulling on the suspenders and rocking on the heels. This is E phrygian dominant. No, really, it's A harmonic minor. You're just starting on the E. You can know all the 7 chords in the harmonic minor scale. But then to sit there and have a different name because you want to start on one of the degrees of the scale, well, that's what it's there for. That's what they're doing when they talk modes. On YouTube, I tend to like to watch videos of people teaching theory because I like to see their approach. And there's a guy who I like the way his approach is, although he gets really involved in the modes, and I don't care for the modes, as I've made myself pretty clear. He was commenting on the Dorian flat 2 scale. So I thought for a second, because there's no way I'm memorizing 35 to like 49 different modal names. Or there's even more than that. But anyway, so I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, Dorian flat 2, well, Dorian would be all naturals in D. Flat 2 would be E flat. That's C melodic minor. Now, why he couldn't say we're playing C melodic minor, I have no idea. But when I think about melodic minor, to me, I know every chord, every note. I can play around it. It doesn't matter what position we're starting in. I understand it better. I can communicate better knowing now that I'm just playing in C melodic minor, which just tells me I'm playing with an E flat only and everything else is natural. So there's so many things to try to think about when you get to that. Now, if you ask somebody to play you a Dorian sharp 4, and I want you to do that, somebody that you know that talks modes, have them play a Dorian sharp 4. Without playing the guitar, tell you what notes are in that scale. Watch them struggle. And really, all we're talking about is the 4th degree of the harmonic minor scale. So we do this dance in music for some reason to want to show people we know what certain things mean, but when you really don't. Most guitar players who I run into, that I teach, that I help, they are fixated on the modes until I explain to them that they not only do they not really know them, they don't understand them because they don't even understand the circle of fifths. And that should come first. That should be the thing that you should be wanting to learn. You know, a lot of times guitar players, they get caught in these mode things and you ask them about it and they're like, well, I can't do it off the top of my head, but I can play it. Yes, you can play it because you've memorized the position. And all you're doing is what like a monkey does, is you're just repeating what you've been taught over and over again. But that's not making music and that's not really communicating. That's just imitating. It would almost be like when you see a guy who's just learning Russian and he goes to Russia. And the first week he's there, he knows how to ask a few questions. Where's the bathroom? He's hungry. Where can he get something to eat? And it's very robotic. And they speak back to him and he's like, you got to slow down because I really don't know what the fuck I'm saying. I'm just asking you. You know what I mean? They're not really speaking the language or communicating with the person. They're saying a group of phrases that they know will get them to an end result. Eventually, after they've been there for a year, they can speak and understand depending on how long they're there and how smart they are. And within 2 to 5 years, they're speaking Russian fluently. And when they think back to asking where the bathroom is, they laugh because they realize they're just wanting to get a finger point and not have a discussion. Now, when somebody talks to them, they can discuss, they can communicate. Well, the same thing goes on in music. When I see people and they're like, well, I can play it on the guitar, I may not know what it is. Well, then you really aren't communicating. You're just fumbling through it. You're stumbling through this exercise of showing me what you know because you think it sounds good against something, but you're just playing something that you've imitated. Now, I might be coming down a little hard on that, but the bottom line is you should really take the time to want to communicate and learn the music. And so I say learn the circle of fifths, study the circle of fifths, memorize the circle of fifths. Now, even a lot of jazz guys, and even me sometimes, will refer to the melodic minor scale as the altered scale, just because it's used more in the seventh position than anything, although the fourth and fifth position are nice as well. But it really is used a lot in the seventh position. But even guys like Larry Carlton, when asked about what he's using, you'll see he mentions the melodic minor scale and doesn't call it the altered scale or call it a mode. He doesn't say it's G altered. He says it's A flat melodic minor because this guy communicates in the same way that I feel like I'm trying to teach, which is once you understand what the notes are and what the scale is, you then also understand the harmony. It does not matter if the harmony starts on the 4, the 5, or the 7, you know all the chords that are in that. The fact that you're watching this video tells me maybe you want to learn, and you should learn. You can watch my videos. I have a lot of lesson videos, and if you have any questions, you can email me any questions. If somebody tells you that the modes are important and they know them, then just ask them, what's in the C flat Lydian dominant mode? Very good.